Welcome back. You're watching Changing India. This week we're focusing on the new age storytellers of the country, from artists to poets to even brands, and what they can tell about the changing social and political landscape of the country. Resistance art has a long and storied history in India. Just take a look at the independence movement and you will see how poets like Subramanya Bharati and Rabindranath Tagore breathed life into concepts like freedom and equality. In the eastern Indian state of Jharkhand, where it has been a long struggle for tribal rights, it is this tradition that continues to inspire poets and filmmakers. My colleague Kamran Ahmed brings us this next report.
गांव में वो दिन था एतवार, मैं नन्ही पीढ़ी का हाथ थाम निकल गई बाजार। सूखे दरख्तों के बीच देख एक पतली पगडंडी, मैंने नन्ही पीढ़ी से कहा, देखो यही थी कभी गांव की नदी।
Jacinta started writing this poem as a reaction to the rampant exploitation of natural resources in her state, Jharkhand. In time, she realized that this wasn't the story of just her region, it is a worldwide phenomenon. She is among few people who are using mediums like poetry, songs, films and so on to talk about struggles around land. Such struggles are not new to the people of Jharkhand, and it is these that have led to the emergence of young poets like Jacinta.
कहीं से एक बहुत छोटी कविता मैंने पढ़ी थी, केदारनाथ सिंह की है या फिर विनोद कुमार शुक्ल की, मुझे ठीक से मालूम नहीं, लेकिन वो कविता इस तरह कह रही थी कि एक आदिवासी लड़की जंगल जाती है और बाघ आदिवासी लड़की को देखता है जंगल में, ऐसे देखता है जैसे वो फूल को देखता है, पत्ते को देखता है, उसी तरह वो आदिवासी लड़की को भी देखता है और वो फिर जम्हाई लेके सो जाता है। लड़की भी बाघ को ऐसे देखती है जैसे फूल को देखती है, पत्ते को देखती है, और फिर वो अपना काम में लग जाती है पत्ता तोड़ने का। आदिवासी लड़की जंगल में बाघ से नहीं डरती है, लेकिन जब वो पत्ता तोड़ के बाज़ार बेचने जाती है तो वो सबसे ज़्यादा डरती है। तो मैं बहुत प्रभावित हुई कि कविता में इतना पावर है।
For years, Meghnad has fought for the rights of the original inhabitants of Jharkhand, people more commonly referred to as Adivasi or tribal. With the national media and films paying little attention to the region, he decided to use the power of camera. From there began Akhada. The term Akhada traditionally refers to a dancing ground in the form of an outdoor semicircular platform, which is central to any community setup in the region. Drawing inspiration from that, Meghnad began his collective, which for more than 20 years has produced multiple award-winning documentaries talking about the region and its people.
You know, I am not a filmmaker in that way of filmmaker. The glamour of filmmaking had not affected me or inspired me to. I wanted to be with the people who are oppressed. Whatever, if it is women as a gender, they are oppressed. Dalit as a caste, they are oppressed. Adivasi as a race, they are oppressed. So in my way, I wanted to stay in the struggle with them. So when the people are asking for their right, there was no one to take their voice and put it in the media, you see. Journalism was also colonial, in a colonial pattern. There are very few journalists who could write article on their behalf. And film and other thing, photography was total colonial eye, and cinema was very badly there. So looking to those things as an activist and again as a man who understood cinema or film, we started thinking it politically, how to relate with a community with eye level, and that's how we have spent last 20, 25, 30 years here.
Jharkhand for centuries had struggled to establish an identity of its own. The work of these people reflect a cultural amalgamation that started in 1980s and led to unification of various factions in the region. Nature plays an important role in binding the different narratives.
सारी पड़तालें दुबक जाती हैं, भूखी हड़तालें अंधेरे में चबाने लगती हैं उम्मीदों की टुकड़ियाँ, और लगातार खून के आंसू रोती रह जाती हैं लाल नदियाँ। तो उसके पीछे वहाँ जो भी आंदोलन चल रहे थे और किस तरह से वो सारे आंदोलन ख़त्म हो गए और बाद में लोग कहीं ना कहीं मैनेज हो गए, तो फिर मैंने वो लिखा है कि अगर एक जंगल देखता है इन चीज़ों को और वो किस तरह से महसूसता है।
Amidst the development debate that the state is witnessing at the moment, these people are fighting a parallel battle. It is believed that the cultural realization was and is the source of energy for the movement. As Jacinta says, that poems have been able to convey those feelings and have created a dialogue.
आप आलेख पढ़ के उतना किसी के आंख में आंसू नहीं आता, लेकिन जब मैं जर्मनी गई या फिर मैं दिल्ली में, जब मैं जर्मनी में 12 शहर में जब मेरे कविता पाठ का कार्यक्रम था, मैंने करीबन अगर 50 लोग हॉल में बैठे हैं, 20-25 लोगों की आंखों में देखा वो मैंने हर एक कविता पर उनकी आंखें नम हैं। और लोगों ने कहा कि हम लैटिन अमेरिका के बारे, अफ्रीका के बारे, ब्राज़ील के बारे, भारत के बारे भी जो थोड़ा बहुत जानते हैं, जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो पढ़ के हम दिमाग से हम सोचते हैं, थोड़ा चिंतन करते हैं, दुखी भी होते हैं, लेकिन तब पर भी कोई चीज़ इतना अपनी आपकी आत्मा को इस तरह नहीं छूता है कि एकदम अनायास आपकी आंखों से आंसू गिरने लगे। तो उन्होंने कहा कि ये एकदम सशक्त तरीका है कि हम गीत के ज़रिए, कविता के ज़रिए, और उन्होंने कहा कि ये इतना संवेदनशील, इतनी संवेदनशील कविताओं को पढ़ के वो कहने लगे हम कभी भारत नहीं गए हैं, लेकिन तभी भी उनकी आंखें नम हो रही हैं।
The hope for artists like Jacinta and Meghnad is that by expressing people's struggle in their art, they can lend a voice to those who for long have resided on the margins of what is viewed as modernity.
सामने दूर तक फैला था भयावह कब्रिस्तान, मैंने कहा देख रही हो इसे, यहीं थे कभी तुम्हारे पूर्वजों के खलिहान।
With Abhinav Raina, this is Kamran Ahmed in Ranchi, Jharkhand for WION.
From the gravitas of poetry, we now shift focus to stand-up comedy. Stand-up artists across the world are carving a niche for themselves, not just as entertainers, but also as social commentators. From John Oliver to Bassem Youssef, stand-up artists are using their humor and clever wit to touch upon important and sometimes even sensitive issues. So how are such performers faring in India? Well, my colleague Archit Sinha finds out.
Yeah, it's bad for women here, ठीक है, औरतों के लिए यहाँ पे बुरा है. What about the Middle East?
They say if you can laugh at it, you can live with it. And in today's fast-changing times, comedy is about much more than chuckles and giggles.
हाँ, यहाँ पे मौसम थोड़ा खराब है, but Mercury पे देखा क्या टेम्परेचर है? 12.5 करोड़ डिग्री सेल्सियस हो रहा है यार वहाँ पे. तो समझ रहा है, जादू भी बोल रहा है, डूड बहुत धूप है इधर.
Jivishu Aluwalia is a noted Delhi-based stand-up artist. He tells us that the key to a good act is one that is rooted to personal observations and one to which an audience can relate to.
Because for me, stand-up is a pure art form and it is pure passion. So whatever I'm passionate about, I'll do that.
Over the past few decades, comedy as a form of social and political commentary has grown to become commonplace in the Western world.
I'm here with Rabbit Jesus.
But in a conservative society like India, this is a genre that is still finding its feet.
So you have to realize this is a US art form. The audience in US has been about 70 years old for this art form. In India, it's still about 6, 7, 10 years old at best. So if you make a joke on a political party or a religion or sex, caste, creed, color, race, people might get offended, and they do get offended. Because in India, offense is not given, it is taken.
More often than not, stand-up performers tend to ease ruffled feathers using humor. But there are times when the offense culture can lead to serious problems.
But in a country where pastries have greater constitutional rights than people, it is technically possible that that was actually an honor.
Like, I'll give you an example. There is this comic called Kunal Kamra who has just made this great video about how patriotic are you, or are you really patriotic? His analogy is brilliant. Did he get crap because of it? Absolutely. He got a lot of flack for it. Trolls followed. They threatened him. They threatened to like harm him physically, mentally, cursing him, putting on social media. So all I'm saying is, why I gave you that example is a great example. It's a great example of how I want to believe it. So when people come in, they should think beyond.
Now here's what happens. Sanjay Dutt.
Despite that, the Indian stand-up scene is growing, with more artists entering the fray and crowds swelling. So while this might seem like all fun and games, comedy in today's world is truly serious business.
There's a rocket in my pocket, so come on, baby, launch it.
This is Archit Sinha, WION.
I am not kidding.
Well, speaking about serious business, we all know how key storytelling is to product branding. But with increasing social awareness among consumers, branding has become more than just talking about quality and pricing. Today, a product needs to tell a story, whether it is about fair sourcing of the raw material or the manufacturing impact on environment, or for that matter, how a purchase will help support a traditional craft or a rural community. My colleague Manoj Keval Ramani brings us this next report.
It's no longer just about quality and pricing. The modern-day consumer is increasingly becoming socially aware. This is offering opportunities for a new breed of entrepreneurs who are seeking to establish businesses with the aim of effecting social change. Headquartered in Delhi, Rangsutra is a community-owned business involving over 3,000 artisans from different parts of India. For its founder Sumita Ghosh, the challenge was to leverage the skills of traditional craftspeople while creating a sustainable business.
We all decided that we would chip in our own funds. So 1,000 artisans put in 1,000 rupees each, and 10 lakhs was our first startup capital. And from there was no looking back. I also took loans from friends and family and invested in the company. First time investing in any company. And then other social impact investors came in and others came in. Secondly was to bring about a change in mindset, because producing goods as per your skills and then coming to a Delhi Heart or an exhibition and selling it there is one thing. But producing for a market which requires standardization, which requires a certain quality, took a lot of doing.
Over the years, Rangsutra has grown, tying up with giants like Fab India and IKEA. The company's annual turnover today stands at an impressive 10 crore rupees. Sumita tells us that one of the reasons for this growth is that Rangsutra's range of products offer more than just quality and competitive pricing. Intrinsic to them are the stories of the people who make them.
In India, there is a growing awareness and it's just starting. There are a lot of people who are interested in the crafts, certainly, because of our rich cultural heritage. There are a lot of people who are interested in the craftspeople and whether, their development, and therefore they should be given a fair wage, and so they are willing to pay that extra premium, and they love this. They love the fact that that artisans are also owners in the company. Overseas, there is a better understanding of this. We work closely with IKEA, and our product, in fact, our range caters, it's called Next Generation Social Entrepreneurs, and their customers buy it because, almost equally because it's made by women, and it's a company which is managed by women and owned also by women. That's what gives it an extra edge. People, I think, are certainly interested in the story behind the product.
Like Rangsutra, Project Nomad is also a social enterprise which supports rural artisans. Started in 2016, Project Nomad is helping artisans in Rajasthan's Roopsi village tailor their products for an urban and even global market.
A social enterprise trying to connect artisans living in rural areas to the global market. So in order for us to be different compared to others, we designed the leather bags, and on top of that we try to make sure that it's modernized to meet the world demand.
Apart from the products they sell, their essential appeal is that they are an entity that is looking to create income generation opportunities for artisans while helping provide opportunities for education and building infrastructure in villages.
Stories are essential to the human experience. They help build an emotional connection that often transcends economic reasoning. It is not surprising then that new age enterprises are investing in this, for even they understand that there is no greater hook than a well-told tale. In New Delhi, with Shubhangi Daga, this is Manoj Kevalramani, WION.
Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Changing India. Do check out our website wionnews.com for all these stories and much more. You can also follow us on various social media platforms. As always, news and updates will continue on WION. Stay tuned.